Hello, I'm MelbourneCupMax with some more facts, fiction and fables of the Melbourne Cup. On Melbourne Cup Day in 1948, George Neville was sitting in the commercial hotel in the little South Australian Mallee township of Birchip. Imagine to his surprise when he heard on the wireless, yeah, that's what radios used to be called back in those days. Anyway, George heard the announcer say that Rimfire, the 80-to-1 outsider in the Melbourne Cup, will be ridden by Ray Neville. "That's my son," he said. That's my young son. He's riding in the Melbourne Cup. He's only had 8 race rides and he's riding in the Melbourne Cup." Can you imagine how excited he was? And George ran home from the pub and to grab his wife and as many of the 13 kids that he had, so as they could listen to Ray riding in the Melbourne Cup in the pub. I'm not sure how they got onto the licensing laws at that stage. And ride he did, ride like the wind. He actually he beat the second horse was Dark Man, ridden by perhaps the best jockey of the time, Jack Thompson, and he beat him in a photo finish. That's not a bad effort for a young guy like that. Imagine 15 years of age and riding a Melbourne Cup winner. Wow. For a treat, he was taken to Worth Circus for winning the Melbourne Cup. But the next day at 4 a.m. he was up bright and early mucking out the stables, even though he just won the Melbourne Cup and it was his birthday. He wasn't the youngest jockey though ever to win the Melbourne Cup. There was a young guy called Peter St Albans in 1876 who was riding a horse called Bryce's, and he was just 12 years of age. I'm MelbourneCupMax, and I'll be back tomorrow with some more facts, fiction and fables of the Melbourne Cup. Until then, bye.